Hey everybody, Prepper for the Ages here. I'm just about done for the day, doing weeding and whatnot. I just wanted to tell you more about why I'm taking the approach I am for putting these pavers in. Here, there we go. So putting the pavers in instead of leaving the grass in between the raised garden beds. Okay, so as you guys know, last year my dog was dying of cancer, so I didn't do a raised garden bed. I didn't do my gardens on the raised garden bed, so I let them overgrow and just left them because that's what you do, is you take care of your loved ones first. So, but the year before that, I had decided that, for years I had put down cardboard in between the raised garden beds, just so that I could walk and so that the roots wouldn't shoot up and whatnot. And so I didn't do that. Not last year. I didn't do that the year before. I just decided I was going to mow the lawn in between the raised garden beds. Okay, so let's tell you what happened. Okay, so I'm mowing the lawn in between the raised garden beds and weed whacking and everything. And what happened was the grass would come up next to the raised garden beds. Oh, how pretty, how pretty, pretty. And then grass started to come up underneath the roots, in between the roots of everything I was planting. So what happened was it would get nice and green, and it would get nice and it would have all of the nutrients and photosynthesis for being up and about. But what it was doing was, here's a good example. So it was nice and but it was throwing a root that would go all the way down across and then up in between everything in the raised garden beds. So don't you, when I see the people now doing the YouTube where they have the beautiful no dig gardens. Can you tell I'm furious? No dig gardens. They have a fruit, like Charles Dowding, and he has a fleet. He has classroom after classroom of people who are taking his courses, and so he has free labor to go and pluck every single little bit of grass coming up. And I don't. You don't either. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I'm so furious. So basically, I'm just pulling up, feet upon feet of grass roots that have gone down, gone across, and up in the garden. And like last year, I had like at least 5 feet, 6 feet of grass and weeds up in the garden. They were my height. I'm 5'1", my height and taller, and it was a pain, and I hated it. And then over the winter, part of the things of me posting less in the winter is that I spent a lot of time YouTubing and looking at people who had fantastic gardens and whatnot. And it really wasn't, people who, they didn't have people working for them. Oh, yes, I have a garden. No, people that didn't have a gardener, people who had plots, community plots, and what they did. And the people had the best garden plots with everything, basically paved everything. They paved over, they got rid of all of the undesirable, unmentionable, horrible, the grass, the weed, anything that could be a detriment to their garden plot, the raised garden beds. They just paved walkways all in between the raised garden beds. So that's why what I'm doing now is paving everything. I bought a pallet of pavers, a pallet. It cost me $1,100. It arrived this week. I'm trying to get all the pavers in before, any bad guys just make off with it. They could only drop it where there was concrete. They could only drop it in the driveway. They couldn't drop it on the other side of the fence to protect it from anybody who wants to walk off with a pallet. The pallet of pavers was 3,000 pounds. So they could, in theory, go and pick those up. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm flipping over the soil like my grandmother did. She flipped over the soil. Basically, she would take her shovel and dig down a foot and go and flip over the soil and then pick out all of the roots. So that's what I'm doing now, picking out all the roots. But I'm picking out roots that are at least a foot long, and they snap before they snap at a foot and a half. And they don't, so that's why, what I'm doing now. But that's what I am doing more and more these days. I'm working smarter, not harder. Well, I'm working pretty hard now. But yes, this is all in preparation for me gardening better. I hate weeds. I know you guys hate weeds too if you're doing your gardening and doing everything. But the more investment you have doing this, the better your results. Just putting everything in at the beginning of the year is wonderful, and then the weeds come, and then they come, and then they come, and you're trying to pull them out without pulling out the roots of the plants that you've propagated and made you grew them from seed and everything. And now when you're pulling out the root, you can see that the root's entangled with the other roots of the seeds of the plants that you want, and you're pulling them both out. So yeah. So this is what I'm doing now is taking all the crap out of here, taking all of the bad weeds out of here, taking the grass that has grown up. This used to be a 4x8 raised garden bed. The sides though were cedar, and it's been so long the cedar has disintegrated. So I pulled up last fall. I pulled up all the cedar and just all the bits of cedar because I still see cedar in there. But yeah. So I'm going to do another raised garden bed, but I'm gonna take everything out first, and then pile everything up, and then put down a plastic this time, raised garden beds, to replace it. So that's what I have for now. That's what's going on. Yes, I look like crap. Thank you for observing. No, I look like crap, but yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. We shall see if I succeed or if I collapse, but this is how I'm doing it at this point. I'm so sick of the grass going in. I'm so sick of the weeds. We'll see if I can get the gardens under control this year. Okay, hope you're doing well. Take care. Bye.